Okay, wow.
And strawberries.
Would any of you like to ask a question to Michael?
Yeah.
And go on, that's okay.
There's one.
Right here. Where?
Get Michael.
Oh, sorry.
Michael C. Yo, come on up. You don't get to leave.
It's 1969.
To cut the cake?
I
I just volunteered this for How did you get so smart?
Genes, I guess my uncle's genes, the one who went to prison. Truly. He only read 2 books, a book of famous quotations and the 1905 Oxford Dictionary. That's it. That's all. That's one of the guys. They accuse me. You're just like your uncle. You're going to go to jail. You're going to be a bum, you know. And yeah, they were. That's well, it was. Yeah, it's true. Sad, isn't it?
One question here.
One question.
I'm curious about your formal education and what you thought of them, and whether you embrace, or what of it you embrace and what you trash or.
You're seriously asking me about my education?
Were you public school, Jesuits, what?
Before I got out of the 8th grade, I went to Audubon Junior High School. You graduate from the 9th grade there.
Okay.
So I never, I would got into some trouble and went to a continuation school, Marion Colbert on La Brea in Baldwin Hills. And then I liked that school. I learned Latin from this woman who was just an amazing teacher, Latin, who would, and then my parents sent me to a private school for discipline. And that was a private school, and that's, it wasn't Jesuit, it was secular. But at that time, it was 1957, 58, I met Kenneth Rexroth. He gave me a list of books to read, and I went down to the library on 5th and Hope, and I spent an entire year. Instead of going to high school, I spent an entire year reading the library that he told me to get into.
Awesome.
And then Kenneth Patchen came down from San Francisco, and you know this story. And he absolutely, it was an epiphany for me. He was reading with the Chamber Jazz Sextet, and I said to his wife, Miriam, I said, that's what I want to do. I want to do that. I want to write something, I want to read it, and have jazz musicians playing with that. And now, 100 years later, but I'm certifiably illiterate, is what I'm getting. No education. Except from the greatest teachers in the world.
Yeah, awesome.
Kenneth Patchen, Kenneth Rexroth, Michael McClure, Philip Lementi.
Thank you.
Those are my teachers.
Mr. McClure,
Yeah.
to address the same question to you about your education.
Yeah, I thought I was going to San Francisco to study abstract expressionist philosophy. So I could write poetry in that. And I thought Clifford Still was still there, and I thought Mark Rothko was still there. And I was a pretty young man, and I'd been reading a catalog that was 5 years old. So when I got there, they weren't there, and I didn't want to go to art school because I just only wanted to learn from them. I didn't want to paint. By the way, I did some painting. I didn't want to paint. I wanted to bring abstract expressionism, abstract expressionist poetry to my philosophy, such as Clifford Still saying demands of communication are presumptuous and irrelevant. That turned me on a lot. And so I ended up going to San Francisco State because I had to stay out of the Army. I didn't want to go kill Asians for Uncle Sam. And of course I was declared 4F later, so it didn't matter. And took classes from Robert Duncan. Some pretty brilliant people in the same classes. Stan Brackett was dropping and so on.
Michael, how'd you get 4F?
Just something I'd mentioned to psychologists. Not sexual, more murder oriented. And so I think my education really started with Robert Duncan and with people in that class, and then with companions like Bruce Conner and companions like George Herms and Branneman, and then as I became more attuned to our environmental problems and saw them not just as problems of nature, I traveled a lot with friends more or less of my age, but who were more explorers than I was, and been more places. And I'd go places with them. Sierra Mountains in Mexico, to Africa, or to Iceland. And a lot of education out there. A lot of it. By the way, I had a theory about why we read poetry when we finish the course. Well, I did end up with a BA, and then I taught for the BA. That's astonishing. But it was in an art college.
Which art class?
Which one? CCA. CCAC then. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh.
You were talking about
Why we read poetry? I believe that we read poetry to read the inspiration. And it's also the reason why we look at painting, or the reason why we listen to music, why I listen to Terry Riley, or why I listen to Beethoven quartets, or why I listen for their inspiration, and that verifies the fact that those things happening in me that I thought were inspiration are, or it doesn't verify. But I believe that we get inspired. We learn to believe in inspiration from the arts.
Amen.
And I would say probably it's the arts where I have my largest education. Unless I was to say individuals, it'd be surprisingly like Michael's. I mean, my first poetry reading in 1956, October 7th. Kenneth Rexroth was the MC, Philip Lamontier read, Allen Ginsberg read, Gary Snyder read, Philip Whalen read. Did I say Allen Ginsberg?
Yeah.
And it's the first time any of us have read poetry in public, except Lamontier, who was already a brilliant reader.
What did it feel like that night? Did you guys have any idea what you were doing at all?
Yeah.
I mean, was there a real awareness there that you guys were going somewhere?
Well, by the time it was over, by the time the reading was over, and the reading took place in an art gallery. In an art gallery called the Sixth Gallery, which was run by independent artists who each paid $5 a month for the rent. $6, $5 a month. Actually, there was a secret member too, because they had to have $37 or something. And one of the artists was Jack Spicer, and the rest were people like Jay DeFeo, Wally Hibbert, Bruce Conner, Manuel Leary, absolutely, John Brown.
Mathematics are pretty amazing, aren't they?
I beg your pardon?
Mathematics are amazing.
Yeah. So I also was inspired by Rexroth, particularly the Dragon in the Unicorn, and by everything Patchen that I read or so.
Thank you.